The silver ship descended through Earth's atmosphere, its hull shimmering in the morning sunlight. Inside, Ambassador Ji-ho adjusted his breathing apparatus and studied the final reports on the primitive planet below. Final approach to landing. "Zone," announced the pilot. Ji-ho nodded. After 200 years of observing Earth from afar, the Galactic Confederation had finally decided to make contact. Their scans showed humans still fighting with primitive weapons, burning fossil fuels, and only recently sending crude machines to their own moon. The Confederation classified Earth as a Class 3 developing world, barely worth notice but with potential in a few centuries. "Remember," Ji-ho told his team, "these humans have no concept of faster-than-light travel or quantum communication. Speak simply and do not overwhelm them." His assistant Hei-wan looked up from her data pad. "The diplomatic team seems nervous about meeting aliens for the first time." "As expected," Ji-ho replied. "Their civilization is young. They know nothing beyond their own tiny world." The ship landed on a flat concrete area outside Geneva, Switzerland. Earth's leaders had chosen this neutral location after the initial radio contact 3 months ago. A group of humans in formal attire waited nearby, surrounded by security forces and media equipment. Ji-ho straightened his ceremonial robe. This was merely a formality, the start of what would be centuries of gentle guidance before humans might join the galactic community as equals. The ship's door opened with a soft hiss. Ji-ho led his 5-member team down the ramp, breathing Earth's air through their special masks. The humans watched with wide eyes and open mouths. A tall man stepped forward. "I am Secretary General Kyung-soo of the United Nations. On behalf of Earth, welcome to our world." Ji-ho performed the traditional greeting gesture of his people. "I am Ambassador Ji-ho of the Arcturus hegemony, representing the Galactic Confederation of 217 worlds. We come in peace to establish relations with your developing world," the humans whispered among themselves. Several pointed devices at the aliens, recording everything. Ji-ho noted their primitive technology with amusement. His own suit contained sensors far more advanced, analyzing everything from atmospheric composition to the genetic makeup of the humans before him. "We have prepared a place for your delegation," Kyung-soo said, "and our scientists are eager to meet with yours." Ji-ho nodded. "We have brought technological gifts as a sign of goodwill, simple advancements your world might find useful." The simple advancements were actually basic medical devices and clean energy systems, technology the Confederation had mastered thousands of years ago. Nothing that would upset the careful development timeline the Confederation believed all civilizations should follow. Later that day in the newly established alien embassy, Ji-ho met with Earth's top scientists and leaders. The humans asked so many basic questions it was difficult for him not to show his boredom. "Your spacecraft, how does it achieve faster-than-light travel?" asked one scientist. Ji-ho gave the prepared answer. "That knowledge would be dangerous. For your development stage, we will share appropriate technology as your civilization matures." He noticed a woman watching him carefully from the back of the room. Unlike the others who seemed excited or nervous, she appeared thoughtful, calculating. Her name badge identified her as Dr. Songmi, quantum physicist. When the formal meetings ended, she approached him. "Ambassador, I understand your reluctance to share advanced technology, but I'm curious. Does your FTL drive use quantum tunneling or space-time manipulation?" Ji-ho barely hid his surprise. The question showed understanding beyond what Earth should possess. "That is not something we can discuss at this time." Songmi smiled slightly. "Of course, just curious if you've solved the Tanaka paradox in your calculations." Ji-ho stiffened. The Tanaka paradox was a complex quantum issue the Confederation had only resolved 3 centuries ago. How did this human even know about such concepts? "I should return to my delegation," he said abruptly. That evening, Ji-ho called an emergency meeting with his team. "The humans may be more advanced in theoretical physics than our reports indicated. We should be careful what we say around them." Hei-wan looked concerned. "Should we contact the Confederation Council?" "Not yet," Ji-ho decided. "Let's observe more first." Over the next week, the aliens met with various human groups. They were particularly dismissive of Earth's military and energy technology, which seemed hopelessly primitive. Yet occasionally, a human would ask a question that suggested deeper understanding. When a small mechanical problem developed in one of their atmospheric shuttles, Jiho reluctantly allowed Earth engineers to observe the repairs. Perhaps they might learn something, he told Haiwan. The head engineer, a quiet man named Dong Hyun, studied the shuttle's damaged cooling system. Your heat exchange principle is interesting, he said. We developed something similar for our deep-sea submarines. Jiho exchanged glances with his technician. The cooling system used principles the Confederation believed humans were centuries from discovering. That night, as the alien delegation reviewed the day's events, Haiwan voiced what they were all thinking. These humans, they're not as primitive as we thought. Jiho stared out the window at the lights of Geneva. Perhaps not, but they're still far behind us. They have much to learn. Little did he know that in laboratories around the world, human scientists were already analyzing every word, every gesture, and every reading they could get from the alien visitors, and they were learning much faster than the Confederation believed possible. 1 month after first contact, the aliens had established their permanent embassy in Geneva. The sleek building stood out among the traditional European architecture, with its curved lines and soft blue glow. Inside, Ambassador Jiho sat at his desk reviewing the latest reports on human technology. Their energy production is still largely based on burning carbon fuels, he said to his science officer Sung-min. Primitive and inefficient. Sung-min nodded. Their computational systems are equally basic. They still use silicon-based processors rather than quantum neural networks. The Confederation's assessment protocol required a thorough analysis of Earth's capabilities before determining what level of technology could be safely shared. So far, the aliens had found little to impress them. The military review is complete, Haiwan said, entering the room with a data tablet. Their weapons rely on chemical explosives and basic projectiles, nothing that could threaten even our smallest scout ships. Jiho smiled. This was exactly what they had expected. Earth was at least 4 centuries away from developing anything resembling Confederation-level technology. Their mission would be simple: establish diplomatic relations, share minor technological advances, and guide humanity's slow development toward eventual membership in the galactic community. Schedule the next meeting with their United Nations. Representatives, Jiho instructed. We should begin discussing the limited technology exchange program. Across the city, Dr. Hyun Ki sat in his office at the International Science Cooperation Center. As Earth's lead diplomat to the alien delegation, he had spent countless hours with the visitors. On his desk sat a small device the aliens had gifted, Earth, a medical scanner that could detect diseases before symptoms appeared. They think we're children, Hyun Ki said to his colleague, Dr. Yoonji, who stood by the window. Did you see how Jiho explained their air purification system? As if he were talking to kindergartners. Yoonji smiled. They've shown us nothing. We haven't already theorized. The quantum principles in their medical scanner match Professor Taewoo's papers from 5 years ago. Hyun Ki nodded. What the aliens didn't know was that Earth had been preparing for first contact for decades. After detecting alien signals in 2028, world governments had secretly united their best scientific minds. While publicly, Earth appeared divided and technologically backward, behind the scenes, breakthroughs in quantum physics, artificial intelligence, and materials, science had advanced rapidly. How is the reverse engineering coming along? Yoon Ki asked. Good, Yoonji replied. We've identified 3 distinct technologies in their gifts that we can adapt to our systems, but we're being careful not to show too much understanding too. Quickly. The door opened and Taewoo entered, carrying a tablet. The monitoring devices we placed near their embassy are working perfectly. We're picking up their communications and energy signatures. They use an interesting form of quantum entanglement for their transmissions. Can we decode it? Hyun Ki asked. Working on it, Taewoo said. But more importantly, we've detected some unusual energy fluctuations from their ships. I think they're having technical problems they're not telling us about. The next day, at the Geneva embassy, Jiho received Troubling news. The Confederation ship in orbit was reporting intermittent failures in its atmospheric shields. Nothing dangerous, but concerning nonetheless. It must be something in Earth's upper atmosphere affecting our systems, the ship's engineer reported. We've never encountered this particular molecular combination before. Jiho frowned. Can you repair it? Yes, but some components will need replacement. We should send a shuttle down for the repair team. When the shuttle landed at the designated area outside the embassy, Jiho was surprised to see Dr. Hyun-Ki waiting. Ambassador, Hyun-Ki said with a polite bow, we detected some unusual energy patterns from your orbital vessel. Is everything all right? Jiho concealed his surprise. Earth's detection systems shouldn't be advanced enough to notice such subtle energy fluctuations. A minor technical issue, nothing concerning. If your team needs any assistance, Earth would be happy to help, Hyun-Ki offered. Our engineers are quite skilled at adaptation even with unfamiliar technology. That won't be necessary, Jiho said quickly. Our systems are far beyond your current understanding. Hyun-Ki smiled politely. Of course. Just a neighborly offer. That evening, as the alien repair crew worked on the faulty components, Jiho met with his senior staff. They detected our ship's energy signature, he said. Their monitoring technology is more advanced than we believed. Should we be concerned? Haewon asked. Not yet, Jiho replied. But we should adjust our assessment. Perhaps they're at a mid-class 3 level rather than early class 3. 3 days. Later, the repair team reported another problem. The replacement component was failing to integrate with the ship's systems. Something in Earth's atmosphere was causing unexpected molecular changes to their materials. We need to synthesize a new adapter, the lead engineer explained. But our fabrication unit on the shuttle isn't calibrated for these conditions. Jiho faced a difficult choice. Delay the repair and request a specialized team from the homeworld, or accept Earth's repeated offers of assistance. His pride said wait, but practicality won out. Contact Dr. Hyun-Ki. He finally instructed Haewon. Tell him we would appreciate some technical assistance after all. But remember, show them only what is absolutely necessary. Haewon nodded, but looked concerned. Do you think that's wise? The Confederation protocol states, I know the protocol, Jiho interrupted. But I also know we need that ship functional. The humans will see only basic components, nothing they could possibly understand or replicate. Little did he know that Earth's team was already far more prepared than he could imagine. The alien shuttle sat in the secure hangar at the International Science Cooperation Center. Around it, a mixed team of human and alien engineers worked on the malfunctioning atmospheric stabilizer. The aliens had reluctantly allowed 3 human engineers to observe the repairs after their own attempts had failed. Engineer Tae-woo studied the glowing blue component with careful eyes. The alien technology was advanced but not incomprehensible as the visitors seemed to believe. He had been analyzing similar principles in his lab for years. The molecular structure is degrading because of interaction with Earth's specific nitrogen-oxygen ratio, explained Do-hyun, the Confederation's chief engineer. He spoke slowly, using simple terms. This creates a feedback loop in the quantum field generator. Tae-woo nodded. May I? He asked, pointing to the scanning device. Do-hyun hesitated but handed it over. The human pretended to struggle briefly, with the controls then scanned the component. I think I see the problem, Tae-woo said. Your field is collapsing because of our atmospheric particulate matter, but if you recalibrate the shell matrix it might adapt better. Do-hyun looked surprised. That would take precise calculations that your computers cannot. Let me try something, Tae-woo interrupted. He moved to a workbench and began sketching calculations on a tablet. The alien watched with growing astonishment as the human worked, through complex quantum equations without hesitation. After an hour, Tae-woo presented his solution. If we add this buffering layer between your primary and secondary coils, it should prevent the degradation. Do-hyun studied the design, his eyes widening. This might actually work, but how did you understand the quantum principles involved? Tae-woo shrugged. We've been working on similar concepts for our deep ocean exploration vehicles. Different application, similar problems. With reluctant approval from Ambassador Jiho, the humans were allowed to help implement the solution. Not only did it work, but the modified stabilizer now operated at 118% of its original efficiency. Impossible, muttered Do-hyun as he reviewed the performance data. The design has been optimized over centuries. Sometimes fresh eyes see new possibilities, Yoonji said with a smile. She had joined the team halfway through the project. We had to solve similar problems with limited resources. It forces creativity. That evening, Jiho called an emergency meeting with his staff. The humans are more advanced than we believed. Their understanding of quantum mechanics is at least at early Class 2 level. Should we update the Confederation Council? Asked Hae-won. Not yet, Jiho decided. Let's continue observations. This could be an isolated pocket of advanced knowledge. 2 weeks later, everything changed. A Confederation scout ship appeared suddenly in Earth's orbit, its hull damaged and systems failing. It sent an emergency signal to the embassy before crash landing in the Pacific Ocean. Jiho received the distress call with growing horror. They were attacked by the Vraks, he told his stunned staff. The ship escaped, but they followed it here. The Vraks were a mysterious species that had been attacking isolated Confederation outposts in distant systems. No one knew their origins or motives, only that they possessed devastating weapons and showed no interest in communication. A human-alien rescue team recovered the damaged ship and its injured crew. In the embassy's medical center, the ship's captain reported the grim news. A Vrak's battle fleet is coming, she said weakly. I tried to lose them, but they damaged our quantum communication array. We can't warn the Confederation. Jiho felt cold fear. Without the quantum array, they couldn't send faster-than-light messages. By the time a conventional signal reached the nearest Confederation outpost, Earth would be defenseless against the Vrak's attack. How long do we have? Jiho asked. 3 Earth days. Maybe 4, the captain replied. Their ships are fast. Dr. Hyunki and his team were briefed on the situation. The human showed none of the panic Jiho expected. Instead, he asked pointed questions about the quantum communication technology. If we could repair your array, could you call for help? Hyunki asked. Jiho shook his head. The damage is too extensive. The crystalline matrix at its core is shattered. It would take a Confederation fabrication facility to create a new one. Let us try, Hyunki insisted. Our engineers might surprise you again. With no other options, Jiho agreed. The damaged array was moved to a secure human facility. When Jiho arrived to check progress, he couldn't believe what he saw. Dozens of human scientists were analyzing the alien technology, working with equipment Jiho hadn't seen before. Where did this come from? He asked, pointing to an advanced quantum scanner that shouldn't exist on Earth. Hyunki smiled slightly. We've been developing our own technology, Ambassador. We just haven't had reason to show it. Why hide your advancement? Jiho asked, confused. We observed your ships long before you contacted us, Hyunki explained. We weren't sure of your intentions. History has taught us caution. Over the next 48 hours, the humans worked non-stop. They didn't just repair the communication array. They rebuilt it using a hybrid of Confederation and Earth technology. When they activated it, the power output exceeded the original specifications. How is this possible? Jiho whispered as he watched the device establish contact with the distant Confederation fleet. Yoonji looked up from her console. Your civilization followed one technological path. We followed another. Different problems, different solutions. As the call for help went out, Jiho realized that everything the Confederation believed about Earth was wrong. This wasn't a primitive world needing centuries of guidance. This was a civilization that had developed in its own unique way, and might hold solutions the Confederation had never imagined. The Vraks were coming. But now, Earth stood ready alongside its new allies. Ambassador Jiho followed Dr. Hyun-ki through the underground tunnel. They were 500 meters beneath the Rocky Mountains, descending deeper with each step. 6 other Confederation representatives walked behind them, their faces showing a mixture of curiosity and concern. The Vrax fleet would reach Earth in less than 24 hours. Where exactly are you taking us? Ji-ho asked. The humans had been surprisingly calm about the approaching alien threat. Too calm. To show you what Earth can really do, Hyun-ki replied simply. The tunnel ended at a massive steel door. Hyun-ki pressed his palm against a scanner and the door slid open silently. The alien stepped into a vast underground chamber that stretched for kilometers in every direction. Inside, thousands of humans worked at advanced computer stations. Enormous machines hummed with power. Holographic displays showed star maps and ship designs that made Ji-ho freeze in shock. "What is this place?" whispered Haewon, her voice barely audible. Sun-ho, Earth's defense director, stepped forward to greet them. "Welcome to Global Defense Initiative headquarters. We've been preparing for possible extraterrestrial contact for decades." Ji-ho struggled to process what he was seeing. The technology around him was far beyond what Earth should possess. Some of it appeared even more advanced than Confederation equipment. "This is impossible," he said. "Your civilization is supposed to be at early industrial space development. This is at least Class 2, possibly higher." Sun-ho smiled. "After we detected your signals in 2028, world governments secretly united our best scientific minds. While we maintained the appearance of division and technological backwardness on the surface, we developed along different lines than your civilization." He led them to a central platform overlooking a massive construction bay. Below, engineers worked on what looked like weapon systems and defense shields. "Your civilization developed in a resource-rich environment with thousands of years of stable development," Hyun-ki explained. "Earth faced different challenges. Limited resources, environmental threats, and our own conflicts forced us to find unusual solutions." Ji-ho watched as technicians tested what appeared to be an energy shield. "Why hide this from us? Why pretend to be primitive?" "We weren't sure of your intentions," Sun-ho said honestly. "Throughout our history, when technologically advanced civilizations met less developed ones, the results were rarely good for the less developed. We decided to observe and learn before revealing our true capabilities." The aliens were led to a large conference room where Earth's top military and scientific leaders had gathered. On a central display was an image of the approaching Vrax fleet. "We've been analyzing the damaged Confederation ship," Yoon-ji explained. "The Vrax weapons target quantum stability fields, the foundation of all your technology. That's why they're so effective against you." Do-hyun, the Confederation engineer, nodded. "Slowly. Our defenses are based on quantum field manipulation. If they can disrupt those fields—" "Exactly," said Tae-woo. "But Earth technology took a different path. We use adaptive multi-layer shields based on electromagnetic variants. The Vrax weapons should be less effective against our systems." Ji-ho stared at the humans in disbelief. "You're saying you can defend against weapons that have devastated our outposts?" "We believe so," Sun-ho replied. "And we've developed hybrid systems combining our technology with yours. The communication array was just the beginning." Ji-ho's mind raced. The Confederation had always assumed a technological development followed a single linear path. They categorized civilizations based on this assumption. But what if development could follow multiple paths? What if Earth's isolation and challenges had created technologies the Confederation had never explored? "Show me everything," Ji-ho said firmly. Over the next 12 hours, the aliens were briefed on Earth's true capabilities. The humans had developed remarkable adaptive AI systems, energy weapons that could reconfigure to match different targets, and defensive shields that used principles completely unknown to the Confederation. In the main engineering bay, Do-hyun watched in amazement as Tae-woo demonstrated a new weapon system. "The targeting mechanism learns from each shot," Tae-woo explained. "It adapts to the enemy's defenses in real time." "How did you develop this?" Do-hyun asked. "The computational requirements alone would be enormous." "We took inspiration from biological systems. How immune cells adapt to new pathogens," Tae-woo said. "Sometimes limitations breed innovation." Meanwhile, Ji-ho met with Earth's Leadership Council. On screens around the room, they could see Confederation reinforcements still 72 hours away. Too late to help with the initial Vrax. Attack! We will share all our technology with you, Jiho promised. Together perhaps we can hold until help arrives. The council leader, a quiet woman named Misuk, shook her head. We don't need your technology to hold them off, Ambassador. We need your knowledge of Vrax behavior and tactics. Our technology is ready. Jiho was silent for a moment. Everything he had believed about Earth had been wrong. The Confederation's careful development timeline, their superior attitude, their assessment protocols, all based on false assumptions. I need to contact the Confederation Council immediately, he said. They must know what Earth truly is. As the meeting ended, Jiho stopped Hyun-Ki in the corridor. Why reveal everything now? You could have continued your deception. Hyun-Ki's face grew serious. Because we believe in cooperation, not conquest, and because the Vrax are a threat to us all. Against common enemies, we stand together. Outside, the first defensive satellites moved into position. Earth was preparing for war, revealing strengths no one in the galaxy had suspected existed. The command center hummed with tense activity as the final minutes ticked down. On the massive central screen, 12 Vrax warships appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system. Their black hulls absorbed light rather than reflected it, making them look like moving shadows against the stars. They've arrived, Sunho announced. Around him, human and alien personnel worked side by side at control stations. All defense systems online. Ambassador Jiho stood beside Admiral Minsu, Earth's military commander. The human appeared calm, despite facing an enemy that had destroyed multiple Confederation outposts. The Vrax expect no resistance, Jiho said quietly. They believe Earth is primitive and the Confederation forces here are minimal. Minsu nodded. Good. Surprise is our best advantage. The Vrax commander's message came through on all frequencies. Primitive world. Surrender your resources and the Confederation personnel hiding among you. Resistance will result in planetary bombardment. Minsu smiled slightly. No introduction, no diplomacy, just threats. They never communicate beyond demands, Jiho explained. No one knows what they really want or where they come from. Let's send our response, Minsu said. Across Earth's orbit, 300 satellites that had appeared dormant suddenly activated. They released waves of small objects that the Vrax scanners initially registered as debris. By the time they realized these were advanced autonomous combat drones, it was too late. The drones swarmed around the lead Vrax ships, their adaptive shields absorbing enemy fire while their weapons targeted key systems. The Vrax responded with powerful energy beams that would have instantly destroyed Confederation ships. But the Earth drones shifted their shield frequencies with each hit, learning and adapting. Impossible, came the Vrax transmission. This world is protected under Confederation Class 3 protocols. They cannot have this technology. In the command center, humans and aliens watched as the first Vrax ship exploded. A cheer rose from the Yao Earth personnel. Their targeting systems are adapting, warned a technician. Drones in Sector 4 taking heavy losses. Minsu turned to Taewoo. Activate the orbital defense platforms. Hidden stations around Earth's moon powered up, revealing Earth's most advanced weapons. Great beams of energy lanced out, guided by artificial intelligence systems that predicted Vrax evasive maneuvers before they happened. The Vrax, clearly shocked by the unexpected resistance, regrouped and launched their second wave attack. 3 massive ships broke through toward Earth, firing destruction beams at major cities. Planetary shield network activating, called out Yunji from her station. Across Earth, thousands of ground-based emitters created an energy field that the Vrax weapons couldn't penetrate. The destruction beams scattered harmlessly in the upper atmosphere. Jiho watched in amazement. The Confederation had been developing planetary shield technology for decades without success, yet Earth had solved the problem using completely different principles. Your shield technology, he said to Hyun-Ki, who stood nearby. It's not based on quantum fields at all, is it? No, Hyun-Ki replied. We use layered gravitational lensing combined with electromagnetic disruption. Different approach, different results. The battle raged for 6 hours. The Vrax, facing unexpected resistance, became increasingly desperate. When their flagship finally exploded after a coordinated attack by Earth's orbital platforms, the remaining ships attempted to retreat. "They're running," Minsu observed. "Should we pursue?" "No," Jiho advised. "Let them go. They'll carry the message about Earth's strength back to wherever they came from." 3 days later, when the Confederation reinforcement fleet finally arrived, they found Earth unharmed and the Vraks defeated. Admiral Ki Young of the Confederation fleet could barely hide his shock as he met with Earth and embassy representatives. "You defended against a Vraks attack force without Confederation help?" he asked incredulously. "How is this possible?" "It seems we underestimated Earth's capabilities," Jiho admitted. "Their technological development followed different patterns than ours." In the weeks that followed, scientific and military teams from both civilizations worked together, sharing knowledge and technology. The Confederation discovered that Earth's approach to artificial intelligence, material science, and energy systems offered solutions to problems they had struggled with for centuries. In a formal ceremony at the United Nations, Ambassador Jiho presented Earth's leaders with a new designation. "By unanimous vote of the Confederation Council, Earth is now classified as a Class 1 allied world with full membership rights," he announced. "This is unprecedented in our history. No world has ever advanced directly from Class 3 to Class 1 status." The Great Hall erupted in applause. On the platform, Hyun-Ki shook Jiho's hand. "This is just the beginning," Hyun-Ki said. "Together we can accomplish so much more than either of us could alone." Later that evening, Jiho stood on the balcony of the embassy, looking out at the lights of Geneva. Haewon joined him, carrying data reports. "The first Earth scientists arrive at the Confederation Academy next month," she said. "And 3 more Vraks incursions were stopped using Earth's defensive technology." Jiho nodded thoughtfully. "Do you know what I find most remarkable about humans, Haewon? Not their technology or their adaptability, impressive as those are. What then? Their willingness to share. We came here believing we were superior, that we would guide them slowly over centuries. Yet when the danger came, they revealed their true strength and offered it freely to save both our peoples. Across the galaxy, ships were already carrying news of the unexpected alliance. The species that had once looked down on Earth as primitive now looked to it with newfound respect and even a touch of awe. The universe had suddenly become a very different place. On distant worlds, Confederation scientists eagerly studied Earth's unique technological approach, while human representatives brought fresh perspectives to ancient galactic problems. A new age of cooperation had begun, born from the day the aliens discovered that Earth wasn't primitive after all.